So after a string of hit and miss sequels that went in some wildly different directions, Halloween H20 is more of a back to basics entry in this franchise, and it's definitely a return to form. The focus is back on Laurie Strode, and Jamie Lee Curtis is great here, as we see how the events of Haddonfield had such an effect on her and her family all these years later. And while you do have a solid supporting cast that includes Josh Hartnett, Michelle Williams, and even LL Cool J, Curtis really carries this, with this being one of the most badass portrayals of Laurie Strode. While this is easily the most intimidating Michael has felt since, well, the original. Now, similar to all the other sequels, it's not quite as creepy as the original was. With this coming in the middle of the slasher boom of the late 90s, it definitely has that bleeding 90s feel as the prevailing tone at times. But it's definitely one of the more atmospheric entries in this franchise, which makes it pretty consistently engaging. Now, it does suffer from some pacing issues, and like I said, it doesn't quite reach the same heights as the original in terms of chills, but it's still overall a really solid time and by far one of the better entries in this series, and I would give it a 7.5 out of 10.